Offering, a purposely broad term that captures both tangible products and intangible services provided by firms. Now, we could talk a lot about offerings and how certain products use offerings to their advantage, but to keep things simple, I'm just going to be talking about one thing, and it's something I'm very passionate about, and that's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, comparing what we just read to Smash Ultimate, when it comes to tangibility, well, we can hold the game, we can look at the packaging, and we can read what's on it, and there's also the game card inside which we can hold and place into our Switch console, another physical product needed to get the full experience. And there's also the gameplay. Now, you could argue that in some ways this is not technically tangible, but hear me out for a second. When you hold the controller, it is you physically manipulating the controller and pressing the buttons that activate certain inputs in the game. That's you. You make it move left to right. You activate all the moves, and you're the one that is at fault for falling off stage because your character has a down air that plunges straight down. When it comes to intangibility, the services are pretty basic when it comes to just online games in general. There's patch updates that help balance the gameplay, online multiplayer services that allow you to play with people from across the world, and online statuses and leaderboards that show you and other people's in-game statistics, like playtime, win-loss ratios, and certain character statistics. Look, I know what you're thinking, and I don't want you to judge me how I spend my free time, okay? I swear Smash Ultimate's just a hobby, and I can stop whenever I want, alright? But offerings are more than just products and the services they provide. Offerings can provide more value to the products. Consumers can form relationships and expectations for the future of the product and brand. The product can change for better or for worse with innovation. Brand equity can improve a company's competitive advantage, and there's so much more. So how did Smash Ultimate handle itself as a product and as a representative of Nintendo? In my opinion, Smash Ultimate is the king of innovation. Even though the game throughout its previous installments has kept the framework of beat up the other guy, which is what people look for in a Smash game, they find new ways to add value to that beloved concept and change it into multiple things with different modes and the addition of new content. You got Classic Modes, which is a unique lineup of themed fights unique to every character. Home Run Contest, where you beat up a defenseless sandbag and smack it to the ends of the earth. Don't worry, he likes it, I swear. World of Light is a full-fledged 40-hour adventure where you can fight dozens of characters that reference video game characters while you manipulate your fighter with the spirits you unlock. This game changes and innovates itself in so many ways that I could literally go on for hours about all it could do. But hey, other people gotta present, so I gotta wrap it up sometime. Now, offering equity in its simplest form is the core value that the performance of a product or service offers the customer, absent from any brand or relationship effect. This can also be used to create a unique competitive advantages to differentiate themselves from other companies. Smash as a product took this concept and ran with it with its all-star roster of characters and unique gameplay, while also doing the complete opposite and using assets from other competing companies to make the experience even more unique. Examples? Well, you have third-party characters from all sorts of different competing game companies, like Rare Microsoft's Banjo-Kazooie, a game that can only be easily accessible in this day and age on the Xbox One, a competing console, and other characters like Joker, Terry Bogard, Solid Snake, Cloud, Pac-Man, Hero, Ryu, Ken, Mega Man, Bayonetta, Simon and Richter Belmont. And all these characters belong to competing developers and are now fighting side by side on a Nintendo game. And with every new announcement of a new character, the sales of Smash Ultimate and the game of the new character's origin increase dramatically. This is how Nintendo manages its competitive advantage. When it comes to Smash Ultimate, the characters being added is the biggest source of excitement in the community and has led to competitors begging to have their characters added. An example is an excerpt from this article of an interview from Blizzard Entertainment. Speaking to IGN in an interview, Kaplan welcomed the idea of an Overwatch character appearing in the game. When pressed for who he would want in, Kaplan settled on Tracer. To the Smash Bros. Team, whatever character you want, we love them all. They're all our babies. You can have any single one of them. We have 31 to choose from. Tracer's our girl. Tracer's our mascot. She beat my first choice. There's a lot of great runners-up. I think a lot of people can immediately see Doomfist gameplay applying to Smash, but if it were up to me, I'd like to see Tracer. Fans of the Smash community are more excited than ever for the release of new characters, now knowing that literally anyone is a possible candidate for the game, making brand awareness stronger with every announcement. Just look at the reaction from fans watching the characters being revealed live at Nintendo NYC. Except for Byleth. That one didn't go too well, which leads into my next topic, conjoint analysis. This is a technique used by marketers to help avoid unsuccessful launches by improving their decision making and to find what has the greatest value. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about Byleth specifically is because of the controversy that came with this announcement, which on paper sounds like a good idea, but it was very poor in execution for a number of reasons. Now, to be fair, the character is really fun and is one of the more unique characters when it comes to movesets, especially since a majority of Fire Emblem representatives mostly play like Marth. But here are the problems with Byleth being added. The first problem being the most obvious, there's already an oversaturation of Fire Emblem characters in Smash Ultimate. Fire Emblem now has 8 representatives, including Byleth, just below the Mario franchise with 9 characters if you count Wario. And it is also tied with Pokemon with another 8 characters. The second problem is that there's been a complaint that there are too many sword characters in the game. Lead developer Masahiro Sakurai himself also agrees with this complaint. And though that sounds like a minor problem since the majority of famous video game characters having a sword is a common trend, in a game like Smash Ultimate, it can be seen as an annoyance based off of player opinion and player playstyle. The beginning of Fighter Pass 1 started with Joker, a character that was never ever expected to be put into a game like Smash Ultimate, and he was also followed by 3 more third-party representatives from competing companies. Byleth, already coming from a franchise that's oversaturated in Smash Ultimate, and also being the last character in a long line of hype before him, was just seen as a letdown by fans, and was met with many disappointed reactions on social media. With Nintendo paying close attention to their community and being fully aware of the criticism from their fans, then why was Byleth released? Well, it was seen as an opportunity of good business. As we discussed previously, every time a character was announced, the game of origin had a spike of sales as players saw the character and wanted to get to know them better. They thought the same would happen with Byleth. Joker was the first DLC fighter announced for Fighter Pass 1. His game, Persona 5, was released back in 2016. Up to January 2019, the game had sold 2.4 million copies worldwide. Joker was playable in Smash Ultimate April 17th, 2019. Sales of Persona 5 now in 2020 total up to 3.2 million copies, an increase of 800,000 units in less than a year. With this major marketing tool at their disposal, any character Nintendo announced could be met with positive sales results. Byleth was Nintendo's choice of a first-party advertisement in Smash Ultimate, with hopes of bringing new players to his origin game, Fire Emblem Three Houses, and to encourage the purchase of DLC set to launch shortly after Byleth's release in Smash Ultimate. Nintendo did not predict the amount of backlash of pre-existing complaints of Smash Ultimate and was met with anger and controversy by the fans. However, this can be seen as a blessing in disguise. The data of responses shown by the announcement of Byleth, even though a majority of them were immature and way over the top, this allows Nintendo to do better with their conjoint analysis tactics in the future, leading to more positive responses and better character announcements. I mean, they have 6 more chances to get this right. I believe they can do good, especially with the first 4 fighters being well received. With every new product, there's a cycle of people who decide when to pick up the product, and this divides into 5 potential groups: the innovators, early adopters, early majority, and the late majority and the laggards. Each of these groups have different roles to play in a product's life cycle, and depending how far it goes, it can say how successful the product actually is. Now with gaming, it can be seen a bit differently, but for the most part, it's very similar, and I'll do my best to explain how this works with Smash Brothers. The innovators are the ones who leap towards a product first, sometimes order it before it's even launched. They actively seek new technologies and experiences, and want to be the first to start a trend. This can be defined as game reviewers, loyalists to the Nintendo brand, or people who just want to be first to the party when it comes to online play and content creation. The early adopters are people who wait and hear about the product before they go out and purchase it. This relates more to me, as when I'm interested in picking up a new game, but not feeling confident enough to pull the trigger, I usually wait about 1 to 2 weeks and look at reviews, and just see how the game plays before I go and pick it up. The early majority. These people are the ones who wait and see if a product is really worth all the attention. When it comes to Smash, it could be like, is it really that fun to play? Is it better than past installments? Can it appeal both to a hardcore competitive scene and casual players? Is there single player content to keep me occupied while I'm offline? Will there be good DLC fighters and patch updates to keep the game balanced and feeling fresh? The late majority and the laggards, these are the people who are the most difficult to convince. They are usually very stingy and really search for the value in the desired product. People like this could be the ones that claim that they're just not good at Smash or in fighting games and don't find it fun. People that don't believe that Smash is a real fighting game and choose not to purchase it for that reason. People that don't own a Switch and can't see the value of just picking up a whole new console just to play one game, or those who simply just don't play games anymore. Now, I know that we just finished talking about all the adoption groups, but there's a phrase that goes along with this cycle. It's called crossing the chasm. This phrase means that there's a possibility that the product will not survive the jump from the early adopters to the early majority, and Smash did have that possibility. It could have been a game that wasn't as fleshed out as it is. The majority of players just play it online with their friends and don't bother with the single player modes. Honestly, they could have just ported the previous Smash game to the Switch and a lot of people would have been satisfied. But the head developer, Sakurai, and his team really put their hearts into this game and found ways to reach every form of gamer for this project. By offering a variety of gameplay modes, outside characters to join the fight, and with many fandoms being united under one roof, this game is truly a celebration to both Smash and video games as a whole. In offerings, there are two types of technologies. You have sustaining technologies, which are small incremental improvements over time, and disruptive technologies, which can be a downfall for a product, as these technologies detriment a product's performance when it comes to modern standards. When it comes to Smash Ultimate, its sustaining technologies are obviously the balancing patches that change a character's strengths and weaknesses by changing their speed, attack damage, and move capabilities. An example of this would be looking at any patch update over the past 2 years. Now when it comes to disruptive technologies, there's no easier target than Smash's online multiplayer. The netcode for Smash Ultimate is very underdeveloped, which leads to a lot of online matches being slow and laggy and can often cause a disconnection or a very infuriating match. And after the game being out for almost 2 years, there's no improvement to the online whatsoever. Oh. You know, Austin, I actually need lag for part of the footage, so...
Yeah, dude. Wait, you do? Are you
Yeah,
talking
I
about
do.
Nintendo's online?
Yes! Oh, God.
This is fraudulent, Austin. Oh, man. Just mash it and lag, Austin. That's what we're doing
Smash
here.
it and lag. Don't you do it. Dude, get out from underneath the bunk bed right now.
Fraudulent, my guy.
Beat his ass, bro.
Nice
I'm
lag
so
assist.
glad they gave me 8 years to react to that spacing.
This isn't much of a problem with other gaming companies, as online multiplayer is one of the most defining features of modern gaming. But this is just a Nintendo problem, and no one knows why the online multiplayer is such an issue. You can kind of fix this issue with an external Ethernet adapter, but that's at a potential $20 purchase on top of the game being $60 and the console itself being $300, and a lot of people don't see the value in that. Smash Ultimate brings a lot to the table in the form of offerings and marketing in general. It has been a staple in the fighting game community since the rise of the competitive scene of Super Smash Bros. Melee, and has been voted the best fighting game of 2019. And with the way it's been handling its competitive advantages with new characters and content, and a constant stream of innovation with gameplay and mechanics, there's no way anyone's going to be taking the throne from this game anytime soon. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a good day.